Change isn't about becoming someone new. It's about finally becoming the person you were always meant to be. You know that feeling when you wake up and realize you've been living on repeat? The same routines, the same habits, the same excuses. Deep down, you know you're capable of more sharper focus, stronger discipline, real progress. You can feel it. It's like a quiet frustration that never leaves. You've talked about changing your life before, maybe even tried a few times, but something always pulled you back. Not this time. This time, you're going to rebuild yourself from the ground up. You're going to stop wasting hours, stop breaking promises, and stop living small. You'll see what happens when you stop talking about change and start proving it. You'll feel your energy rise again, your confidence, your purpose, your drive. By the end, people won't understand how you did it. They'll see it in your eyes, in your presence, in the way you carry yourself. You won't need to say a word. Because this time, your life itself will speak for you. Number 1, shock your mind by doing the hardest thing first each day. Every day starts with a choice. You can wake up and keep doing what's comfortable, or you can shock your mind by doing the hardest thing first. The truth is, growth never comes from comfort. It comes from pressure, challenge, and those moments when you do what you don't feel like doing. That's where you start changing your life. That's where you begin to become unrecognizable. When you wake up, your mind looks for safety. But the truth is, every time you choose comfort first, you train your brain to expect an easy life. You build a pattern of hesitation. You teach yourself to delay progress. If you want to break that pattern, you need to shock your mind. You need to give it something so direct, so uncomfortable, that it wakes up and starts listening to you again. Doing the hardest thing first isn't about punishment. It's about ownership. It's about teaching your mind that you're in charge now. When you do the hardest thing first, everything else in your day feels lighter. You build a sense of control that most people never experience. It changes the way you walk, the way you talk, and the way you think about yourself. That's where the real transformation begins. Think about it. You've probably had days where one small task ruined your whole focus. You avoided it, kept pushing it aside, and spent the whole day feeling guilty about it. That guilt steals your energy. But when you start the day by tackling that very thing, everything shifts. You build momentum. You feel capable. You carry a kind of quiet power that makes you look at life differently. That's not motivation. That's self-respect. Let's talk about what happens inside your mind when you do this. Your brain is wired to protect you. It avoids pain and seeks comfort. That's why most people stay stuck. But when you voluntarily face discomfort, your brain rewires. It learns that hard things don't break you, they build you. Every time you finish something difficult, your brain releases a sense of accomplishment. That feeling becomes addictive in the best way possible. You start craving progress instead of comfort. You begin to look for challenges instead of running from them. Now, this week, I want you to make a real decision. Not one of those half-hearted promises that fade in 2 days. A real decision to prove to yourself what you're capable of. For 7 days, start each morning with the thing that scares you, drains you, or pushes you the most. It might be a workout you've been skipping, a conversation you've been avoiding, a habit you've been ignoring, or a goal you've been delaying. Choose that one thing and hit it before your day begins. No debate, no delay, no compromise. At first, it's going to hurt. You'll want to stop. You'll hear 1,000 reasons why you shouldn't. That's your old self trying to survive. It's the part of you that loves comfort, that loves excuses, that loves the idea of change but hates the work. Don't argue with it. Don't explain. Just move. Just do the thing. Because once you start moving, the noise in your head gets quieter. When you do the hardest thing first, your self-image changes fast. You start seeing yourself as someone who gets things done. You stop waiting for confidence to appear because you realize confidence is a result, not a requirement. You build it through action, through facing discomfort, through earning your own respect. Most people talk about confidence like it's a personality trait. It's not. It's a habit built by doing hard things again and again until your mind finally believes you can handle anything. Some people spend years trying to find motivation. They watch videos, read books, write goals, and still feel stuck. But here's the truth. Motivation doesn't come before action, it comes after. You can't wait for the perfect mood to start changing your life. You act first, and the energy follows. That's how every strong person you've ever admired built themselves. They didn't start strong. They became strong through repetition, through small wins, through showing up when it was hardest. And when you start doing the hardest thing first, something else happens. Your day stops controlling you. You start controlling your day. The small distractions lose their power. The little problems that used to bother you feel irrelevant. Because when you've already won your first battle, everything after that feels manageable. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You become a person who moves with purpose, who doesn't need to announce their discipline because it shows in their actions. There's a deep sense of peace that comes from doing what you said you'd do. It's not loud or dramatic. It's quiet. It's the peace of knowing you're not lying to yourself anymore. When you wake up and keep your own promises, you stop needing validation from others. You stop chasing approval because you already have your own. That's where real freedom starts. You feel it in your chest. You feel lighter, stronger, sharper. It's not about being perfect, it's about being honest with yourself. If you want to become unrecognizable, you have to make your standards higher than your excuses. You can't just want change. You have to live like it's non-negotiable. Every morning gives you that opportunity. The way you start your day sets the tone for who you are becoming. If you start with hesitation, you teach your mind to delay. If you start with strength, you teach your mind that no matter how hard it gets, you'll always show up. The most powerful people in the world aren't fearless. They just move before fear has time to grow. You can do the same. The hardest thing in your day is not there to stop you, it's there to test you. It's a mirror showing you whether you control your mind or your mind controls you. When you start choosing the harder path on purpose, your whole life begins to shift. People around you notice. You carry yourself differently. You speak differently. You walk into rooms with quiet confidence because you've earned it privately. The first time you do this, it won't feel good. You'll fight the urge to quit halfway. That's normal. Change doesn't feel comfortable because you're breaking old mental habits. But by the third or fourth day, something powerful happens. You stop thinking about whether you can, you just do it. You start trusting yourself again. You begin to believe your own words. That's what being unrecognizable means. It's not just about your body or your habits, it's about your mind finally working for you instead of against you. 1 week of this kind of discipline can change everything. 7 days of doing the hardest thing first will rebuild your focus, your confidence, your energy, and your identity. You'll look at yourself in the mirror and see a person who doesn't back down anymore. You'll notice how your thoughts become clearer, how your energy lasts longer, and how your respect for yourself grows stronger. That's the real transformation. It's not magic, it's psychology. Your brain follows what you train it to do. If you train it to face difficulty, it starts trusting your strength. So this is your challenge. 1 week, each morning, do the hardest thing first. Don't negotiate with yourself. Don't wait for the right moment. You are the right moment. You are the one who decides whether this week passes like all the others or becomes the week that changed everything. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need to start. Because 1 week of discipline can do more for your life than 1 year of wishing. That's how you shock your mind. That's how you take back control. That's how you become unrecognizable. Number 2, break your comfort routine and live the opposite for 1 week. Most people live inside the same routine every single day. They wake up at the same time, do the same things, think the same thoughts, and wonder why nothing ever changes. They talk about wanting a better life, but never question the pattern that keeps them trapped. If you want to become unrecognizable, even in 1 week, you have to break the pattern that made you the person you are now. You must live the opposite of your comfort routine. That means doing the things you normally avoid, thinking in ways you've never tried, and stepping into actions that challenge the limits you've accepted for far too long. Your comfort routine feels safe because it's predictable. You know what to expect. You know how it feels. But that safety comes with a price. It kills growth. It keeps your mind dull, your energy low, and your potential locked away. Comfort feels good for the moment, but it steals your strength over time. You start living on autopilot, going through motions that don't push you anywhere new. The fastest way to wake yourself up is to change what your brain expects. Break your rhythm. Shock your habits. Do the opposite of what feels easy. This week, I want you to treat your comfort routine like an experiment. Look at your usual day. Notice when you reach for your phone, when you procrastinate, when you eat out of boredom, when you talk yourself out of effort. Write it down. Every small detail matters because that's where your comfort hides. Once you see it, challenge it directly. If you always hit the snooze button, wake up the moment your alarm rings and step out of bed. If you always eat breakfast half asleep, start your morning with water, exercise, or a cold shower. If you always scroll before bed, replace that with reading or planning tomorrow. The point is not the activity, it's the disruption. You're teaching your mind that you're no longer living by habit. You're taking back control. At first, this will feel strange. Your brain will resist. It will try to pull you back into old behaviors because that's what it knows. That's how the brain works. It favors familiarity over progress. But that discomfort is exactly what you need. It's proof that you're doing something different. The more you step outside of routine, the more your awareness grows. You start noticing details you ignored before. You start feeling alive again. You begin to see that most of your life was a loop that never served your goals. For 1 week, flip your life upside down. If you usually stay quiet, speak up. If you avoid eye contact, hold it longer. If you procrastinate on work, finish it early and feel that sense of pride. If you always take the easy route, take the harder one and finish it anyway. Every opposite action builds a new version of you. You're proving that your choices are stronger than your habits. You're creating psychological momentum, a deep belief that you can control your behavior no matter how strong the old pattern feels. Comfort routines keep people predictable. That's why most people never change much. They build walls around their potential and call it stability. They avoid challenges and call it peace. They live in repetition and call it normal, but you don't grow in normal. You grow when you feel that mix of uncertainty and excitement. When you're not sure what will happen next, that's when you're truly awake. That's when you can rewrite your identity. Breaking your comfort routine is not about doing something extreme or dramatic. It's about small but deliberate reversals that make you conscious again. The simple act of doing something unfamiliar breaks mental patterns. Walk a different route, talk to a stranger, work without music, turn your phone off for half a day, eat cleaner food, write down your thoughts instead of ignoring them. These choices sound small, but they carry power because they demand awareness. You can't grow if you keep doing things that require no thought. When you live the opposite of your comfort routine, you start to understand who you really are without all the habits. You begin to see what you've been avoiding, what you fear, what you crave, what you tolerate. You realize how much of your life is built on convenience instead of purpose. This awareness can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. You can't change what you refuse to see. You can't become unrecognizable if you keep running from the truth of your routine. The human mind needs friction to evolve. When life becomes too smooth, you lose edge. You lose urgency. That's why discomfort is not your enemy. It's your guide. Every time you face it, you build self-control. You build confidence that doesn't come from words, but from evidence. You start feeling proud in a way comfort could never give you. You walk differently. You carry yourself differently because you've earned that feeling. You've proved that you're not controlled by habits, you control them. By the 3rd or 4th day of living the opposite, something shifts. You'll notice a different energy when you wake up. Your thoughts become sharper. Your body feels lighter. You start moving with more purpose because the days aren't blurring together anymore. You're aware of your time, your effort, your emotions. That awareness gives you power. You start realizing that you can design your days, not just survive them. That realization alone separates you from 90% of people. When you live the opposite, you're training your brain to adapt fast. You're building flexibility. You're teaching yourself that you can handle change. Most people fear change because they've never practiced it. They only react when life forces them to adapt. But when you choose to live differently for a week, you show yourself that change doesn't have to be painful. It can be intentional. You're not waiting for life to push you. You're pushing yourself. You'll start noticing how your mood reacts to your environment. When you stop doing what you always do, your emotions come to the surface. You feel restless, impatient, even anxious. That's normal. That's your comfort zone breaking down. You're not losing control, you're regaining it. The emotions that rise up are signals that you're finally seeing the truth behind your habits. Instead of running from those feelings, observe them, learn from them. That's how emotional strength grows, through awareness, not avoidance. By the end of the week, you'll feel different. Not because the world around you changed, but because you did. You'll notice that your discipline has grown, your focus has sharpened, and your sense of purpose feels clearer. You'll feel proud because you finally proved to yourself that you can do what others won't even try. That kind of pride is priceless. It builds the foundation for every other change you want to make. This is how people reinvent themselves. They stop living the same script and start writing a new one. They break the rhythm of comfort and replace it with the rhythm of growth. You can't build a new life inside an old pattern. You have to disrupt it. You have to get uncomfortable long enough for your mind to start searching for better ways to live. That discomfort becomes transformation. It's not instant, but it's real. So for the next 7 days, commit to living differently. Do what feels opposite. Challenge your routine in every way possible. Wake up earlier, move more, speak honestly, eat cleaner, work harder, rest intentionally, learn something every single day. Keep promises you make to yourself. By the end of the week, you won't just feel different, you'll be different. You'll see proof that change doesn't take years. It takes courage and consistency. You don't need permission to start. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need to stop living on repeat and do the opposite. That one decision separates people who talk about change from those who live it. And if you do it with full commitment, even for 1 week, you'll look in the mirror and see someone new, someone focused, driven, and alive. That's how you become unrecognizable. Number 3, set one brutal rule and follow it with 0 exceptions. Most people fail to change not because they lack desire, but because they lack a rule that keeps them in check when their feelings shift. Feelings change every day. One morning you wake up ready to conquer the world. The next you just want to disappear under the covers. But growth doesn't care about feelings. It cares about consistency. That's why you need one brutal rule. One clear line you never cross. No matter how you feel, no matter what happens. This is how you create strength that cannot be shaken. This is how you build the kind of discipline that rewires your identity. A brutal rule isn't a goal. It's not something you aim for. It's something you live by. It's a personal law. A standard that defines how serious you are about your own life. For 1 week, set a rule that scares you a little. Something that forces you to face your weakness every single day. It might be waking up at the same early hour without fail. It might be cutting off every distraction after work. It might be finishing your daily workout no matter the excuses. The point isn't what the rule is. It's that you follow it without a single exception. When you make a rule, your mind will immediately search for loopholes. It will whisper that one skip won't matter, that one break won't hurt, that one time won't ruin it. But every exception chips away at your self-respect. Every time you break your own rule, you teach your brain that your word means nothing. You become someone who talks about commitment, but doesn't live it. And the worst part, you stop trusting yourself. Once that trust is gone, everything else becomes harder. Your focus, your motivation, your confidence. That's why you have to go all in. When you decide your rule, commit to it with 0 negotiation. Don't argue with your feelings. Don't explain to yourself why today is different. If your rule says no junk food, it means no junk food. If your rule says no social media before 10 a.m., it means not a single scroll. You're not being hard on yourself. You're being honest. You're building reliability with the one person who controls your entire future, you. At first, the rule will feel like a fight. You'll crave the comfort you used to have. You'll want to give in just once, and your brain will throw every reason at you. That's the test. That's the wall between who you are and who you could be. Push through it once, and you'll feel power most people never experience. It's not about the rule itself. It's about who you become by keeping it. You become a person who follows through. You become someone who doesn't need external pressure to stay disciplined. That kind of self-control makes you unrecognizable, even to yourself. Every strong person you've ever admired has lived by rules that others found too strict. But that's exactly why they stand out. Rules create structure. Structure builds clarity. Clarity eliminates confusion. Once you have clarity, every decision becomes easier, because you already know what's allowed and what's not. You don't waste time debating with yourself. You don't need motivation to act. You simply follow the standard you set. That's freedom. It sounds harsh, but it's the truest kind of freedom, because you're no longer controlled by impulses. One brutal rule works because it's simple. You don't need 10 goals, 20 habits, or a long to-do list. You need one rule that anchors your behavior. The simplicity cuts through chaos. It forces your focus into one direction. When you do this, your energy stops scattering. You begin to see clear results because your effort isn't diluted. The brain loves clarity, and it rewards you for it. You start feeling stronger, more decisive, more stable. Your emotions stop swinging wildly because your actions are no longer driven by them. The beauty of following one brutal rule is that it shows you who you really are under pressure. When temptation hits, you find out what kind of person you've built. Most people give in because they've never trained that inner muscle of resistance. They've never learned to say no to themselves. But once you practice it, it becomes automatic. You start controlling your urges instead of letting them control you. You stop acting based on how you feel and start acting based on what you've committed to. That's when your life starts to change. People talk about freedom, but real freedom comes from discipline. Without discipline, you're a prisoner of your impulses. You move based on what feels good, not what's good for you. With a rule, you build order in your life. You set boundaries that protect your growth. You don't need to control everything, you just need to control yourself. And when you do that, everything else starts falling into place. You start making better decisions naturally. You stop wasting time. You stop seeking shortcuts, because you've built trust in your own effort. Now here's what happens when you follow your brutal rule consistently. First, you gain mental strength. Every time you resist an old habit, your brain gets stronger. You start realizing that discipline is not punishment, it's training. You feel your confidence rise, because you know you can rely on yourself. You also start noticing how weak your old excuses sound. What used to stop you now feels small. That shift in mindset is the first step to becoming unrecognizable. Second, you build emotional stability. When you stop breaking your promises, your anxiety drops. You stop second-guessing everything. You move with calm determination. You don't panic when things go wrong, because you've already built the skill of control. You know how to stay steady. You stop reacting and start responding. That calm strength becomes your new energy, and people notice it immediately. Third, you create consistency. Consistency is the foundation of every kind of success. One brutal rule keeps you consistent because it removes decision fatigue. You don't wake up wondering what to do. You already know. That mental simplicity keeps you focused, and focus brings results. By the end of 1 week, you'll start seeing real change, not just in your behavior, but in the way you see yourself. You'll stop saying "I'll try" and start saying "I will." The hardest part will be the first few days. You'll feel the pull to quit. You'll hear the old voice in your head saying it's not worth it. That's your test. The old version of you is fighting for survival. Don't let it win. Every time you stick to the rule, you take power away from your weakness. By the 4th or 5th day, that resistance starts to you begin to feel stronger, more alive, more capable. The discipline becomes part of you. The rule stops feeling like punishment. It feels like truth. It's important to remember that one brutal rule doesn't mean perfection. It means integrity. It means you do what you said you'd do, no matter how inconvenient it becomes. If you slip once, acknowledge it and get right back. Don't lie to yourself. Don't justify. Just return to the standard. That act alone builds honesty within you, and honesty is the core of growth. People lie to themselves for years about what they're capable of. You can end that lie in 1 week by following one rule, without exceptions. When you live this way, something deep inside you changes. You start trusting yourself again. You stop waiting for motivation or validation. You stop comparing yourself to others. You begin to feel proud. Not the kind of pride that seeks attention, but the quiet pride that comes from doing the right thing when no one's watching. That pride turns into self-respect, and self-respect turns into power. The kind of power that changes how you walk into a room, how you speak, and how you handle life's storms. One brutal rule can rebuild the structure of your entire life. It simplifies the chaos and gives your days meaning. It cuts through confusion and makes your goals real. When you live with that level of commitment for a week, you become a different person. You start thinking clearly, acting boldly, and respecting your own word. You stop chasing change and start living it. You realize that real transformation isn't about massive effort. It's about daily truth. One rule, 0 exceptions, 7 days of absolute integrity. That's how you reset your mind. That's how you build character that doesn't collapse when life gets hard. That's how you become unrecognizable. Not because you talked about change, but because you finally lived. Number 4, look at your bad habits and replace one every single day. Change starts with honesty. Not the kind of honesty you show to others, but the kind you face alone when no one is watching. If you truly want to become unrecognizable, you have to stop pretending that your bad habits don't control your life. Every small habit that doesn't serve you is quietly shaping who you are. It's affecting how you think, how you feel, and how you act. You can't change your life if you keep protecting the behaviors that are destroying it. The fastest way to grow is to confront your habits one by one and replace them daily with something that builds you instead of breaking you. Your habits are proof of your standard. They show what you accept for yourself. Look at your day closely. Every action is either moving you closer to your potential or keeping you exactly where you are. The way you start your morning, the things you do when you're bored, how you handle stress, what you eat, what you think about, how you talk to yourself, all of it creates the person you see in the mirror. If you want to see a new version of yourself, you must change what you repeatedly do. You can't fix everything at once, but you can take control one habit at a time. That's how real transformation happens. Most people never sit down and identify their bad habits. They keep running on autopilot. They know they waste time, but they don't measure it. They know they eat poorly, but they ignore the pattern. They know they scroll for hours, but they don't see the cost. To break free, you have to stop looking away. You have to face the truth without defending it. Write down every habit that drains your time, energy, or focus. Be brutally honest. Don't sugarcoat it. You can't change what you refuse to name. Once you've listed them, pick one habit to replace each day for a week. Just one. That's the power of focus. Replace it with an action that moves you forward, even in a small way. If you waste hours on your phone, replace that time with reading or exercise. If you constantly complain, replace it with gratitude or silence. If you eat out of boredom, replace it with drinking water or going for a walk. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. One replacement per day compounds faster than you imagine. Within a week, you'll start noticing that your energy feels different. You'll start believing that you can actually change. The key is replacement, not removal. When you try to just stop a bad habit, you leave an empty space. That space always pulls you back. The brain doesn't like losing comfort. It needs something to fill that gap. That's why so many people relapse into old behaviors. They stop one bad thing, but never add something better in its place. You can't fight habits with willpower alone. You have to redirect your energy. Replacing a bad habit with a productive one gives your brain a new pattern to follow. It builds momentum instead of resistance. Each day when you replace one habit, notice how it feels. At first, it might feel unnatural. That's good. It means your mind is learning something new. Every new behavior you practice creates a fresh neural pathway. The more you repeat it, the stronger it becomes. After a few days, it starts feeling normal. That's how habits form, through repetition and reward. Give yourself credit for each small win. Change doesn't need applause. It needs awareness. When you see that you're capable of improvement, you start craving more of it. Bad habits are often emotional. They're not just actions. They're coping mechanisms. They cover up boredom, fear, stress, or insecurity. You don't scroll endlessly. because you love scrolling. You do it because you want to avoid something uncomfortable. You don't eat late at night because you're hungry. You do it because it soothes you. Replacing habits is not just about behavior. It's about understanding why they exist. When you know what emotion triggers the habit, you can address the cause instead of the symptom. That's how you gain control of yourself. Each day you replace one habit, you take a piece of power back. You start realizing how much of your life you gave away to mindless repetition. You see how much potential you've been hiding under convenience, and you'll feel something powerful. The sense that you are in charge again. That feeling changes everything. You start moving with purpose. You start expecting more from yourself. You stop saying that's just how I am, because you've proven that who you are can change. By the third or fourth day, you'll notice resistance. Your mind will try to pull you back to the familiar. That's when most people quit. But if you hold your ground and stay consistent, your brain adapts. The discomfort fades, and the new behavior starts to feel normal. That's the point where growth begins. Once you push past resistance, you enter a new level of control that most people never reach. You stop being a victim of your habits and start being the designer of them. Replacing habits is the purest form of self-respect. It's saying, I'm not going to keep doing things that hurt me. You might not see big changes on the outside immediately, but inside you're building a stronger foundation. You're building discipline, awareness, and resilience. You start waking up with more energy because your actions no longer drain you. You stop feeling guilty because you're living in alignment with what you know is right. That alignment brings peace. A deep kind of peace that comes from knowing you're no longer lying to yourself. Think about how different your life could look if you replaced 7 bad habits in 1 week. That's 7 areas of growth, 7 new sources of confidence, 7 small victories that build unstoppable momentum. You don't need a massive overhaul. You need consistent. 1 bad habit replaced daily for 1 week is the difference between staying stuck and starting transformation. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be honest, disciplined, and willing to take small steps that come. You'll also notice that as you replace bad habits, your self-image begins to shift. You stop seeing yourself as lazy, unmotivated, or inconsistent. You start identifying as someone who takes action, someone who grows, someone who follows through. That identity shift is the most powerful change of all. You can't outperform the way you see yourself. When you see yourself as disciplined, your actions start to match. That's how lasting transformation happens. Your behavior and your identity begin to align. Replacing habits is not glamorous work. It's quiet, repetitive, and uncomfortable, but it's also real. It's the kind of work that builds substance, not just appearance. You start developing pride in the little things. Waking up on time, keeping promises, finishing tasks, making better choices. Those small victories build character. And when character strengthens, everything in your life begins to reflect it. Your health, your focus, your relationships, your mindset. If you want to become unrecognizable, stop chasing motivation and start fixing habits. You don't need to wait for the perfect plan. You already know what's holding you back. Write it down. Replace it today. Tomorrow, do the same. Keep doing it until your days start to look different. Each day you replace one habit, you're rewriting the code of your life. You're telling your mind, this is who I am now. And when your mind accepts that message, it changes everything. By the end of the week, you'll notice that you think clearer, move faster, and feel more grounded. You'll look back and realize that none of this required magic. It just required awareness and consistency. You stopped ignoring your bad habits and started taking responsibility. You took small steps that multiplied into confidence. That's how real growth works. It doesn't happen in one big moment. It happens one small decision at a time. So look at your habits closely. Don't fear what you see. Be honest enough to face it and strong enough to change it. Replace one bad habit every single day and watch how quickly your life begins to shift. 1 week of awareness and action can create a version of you that feels powerful, focused, and alive. That's not theory. That's real psychology. That's real change. That's how you become unrecognizable. Number 5, cut out distractions completely and watch how focused you feel. Distractions are the quiet killers of focus. They sneak into your day disguised as harmless habits and end up stealing hours you never get back. Most people don't even realize how much of their potential disappears into small, constant interruptions. Notifications, messages, noise, meaningless scrolling, and empty conversations. If you want to become unrecognizable, you have to take control of your attention. That means cutting out every distraction completely for 1 week and discovering what it actually feels like to have your mind fully yours again. The human brain was not built for endless stimulation. Every alert, every vibration, every open tab pulls your attention away and scatters your thoughts. The more distracted you are, the more anxious and restless you feel. Focus is not just about working hard. It's about creating the space where your thoughts can actually breathe. You can't think deeply when your attention is divided. You can't create something meaningful when your mind is busy jumping from one thing to another. Cutting out distractions isn't about discipline alone. It's about protecting your mental clarity and peace. For 1 week, make your environment as quiet as possible. Silence your phone completely. Delete every app that serves no purpose. Put your devices out of sight when you work. Tell the people around you that you're going to be unreachable for certain hours and mean it. Clean your space until there's nothing left that pulls your eyes away from your goals. You will be surprised how much noise you've been living with. The moment you shut it off, your mind feels different, calmer, clearer, sharper. You begin to realize that focus isn't something you find. It's something you create. The first day will be strange. You'll reach for your phone out of habit. You'll feel the urge to check messages or scroll. You'll feel restless, maybe even bored. That's the withdrawal effect. Your brain has been fed constant stimulation, and now it's craving another hit. Don't give in. Sit through that discomfort. The stillness that feels uncomfortable at first becomes powerful once you accept it. That's your mind adjusting to clarity. That's what focus feels like when it finally gets a chance to breathe. By the second day, you'll start noticing details you used to ignore. The sound of silence will stop feeling empty and start feeling peaceful. You'll realize how much time you've been wasting reacting to small distractions. You'll begin to control your attention instead of letting everything else control it. The world moves fast, but you don't have to move with its noise. The ability to stay centered while everything else is chaotic is what separates the average from the exception. When you cut out distractions, your productivity multiplies because your thoughts stop scattering. You enter a state of deep work where time feels different. An hour feels like 5 minutes because your attention is locked in. You start finishing tasks that used to take half the day. You start understanding ideas more deeply. You stop making careless mistakes. You experience what it means to actually be present. That presence gives your work power. It makes everything you do feel intentional instead of rushed. Distractions don't just waste time. They drain energy. Every time you switch focus, your brain burns energy, reorienting itself. That's why distracted people feel tired, even when they haven't done much. When you stay focused, your energy lasts longer. You stop feeling mentally exhausted halfway through the day. You end the day proud instead of drained. This one change, removing distractions, can give you more energy than any supplement or motivational quote ever could. It's not only about phones or screens. Distractions also come in the form of people and habits. Some people drain your attention by constantly complaining or gossiping. Some habits waste your hours without you realizing it. Pointless conversations, multitasking, checking emails every few minutes. Each of these steals focus and gives you nothing in return. For 1 week, guard your attention like it's the most valuable thing you own. Because it is. Your attention builds your reality. Wherever it goes, your life follows. When you finally live distraction-free, you'll notice your thoughts getting deeper. You'll have new ideas that didn't exist in the noise. You'll feel a kind of confidence that comes from control. The ability to direct your mind is the foundation of every kind of success. Most people are not tired. They're overstimulated. Their focus is scattered across so many things that they can't see what truly matters. The moment you take that back, you become powerful again. You stop reacting and start deciding. Focus gives you freedom. When you're truly focused, you don't need to overthink or second guess. You just act. You move through your day with clarity, You start noticing how peaceful it feels to have control over your time. You stop feeling behind because you're no longer chasing 10 things at once. You're doing one thing fully. That's where real results come from. Single-minded attention. Every great achievement is built on focus, not chaos. The modern world trains you to crave distraction. Companies profit from your divided attention. That's why you must fight for your focus. You can't afford to give your time away for free. Every notification you check is a piece of your life you'll never get back. Every distraction you allow is a choice to delay your potential. When you realize how expensive distraction truly is, cutting it out stops feeling like sacrifice. It feels like survival. By the 4th or 5th day, something inside you changes. You start to enjoy the quiet. You start feeling productive without pressure. You start valuing peace more than entertainment. You stop needing constant noise to feel alive. Your focus becomes your strength, and it starts reflecting in everything you do. Your conversations become deeper. Your work becomes cleaner. Your thoughts become more organized. You stop reacting emotionally to small things because your mind has space to think before it moves. When you remove distractions, you see what you've been avoiding. You see your fears, your doubts, your unfinished work, your excuses. The silence exposes everything you've been running from, and that's a good thing, because now you can deal with it. You can fix it. You can face it without the noise covering it up. Focus brings clarity, and clarity brings truth. That truth is uncomfortable, but it's where real change begins. By the end of the week, you'll realize how powerful simplicity is. You'll look back and wonder how you ever lived in constant noise. You'll understand that focus is not about working harder. It's about removing what weakens you. It's about being ruthless with your time and intentional with your attention. You can always make more money, but you can never get more focus once it's wasted. Every distraction you cut is a piece of power you reclaim. Your mind becomes sharper when it's not overloaded. You start making better decisions because you can actually think them through. You start noticing opportunities that were invisible before because your attention was too fragmented to see them. The quality of your life improves not because you did more, but because you finally gave yourself room to think, act, and grow without interruption. That's what true focus feels like. Peaceful, confident, clear. Distraction is the enemy of every dream. It destroys potential quietly, minute by minute. But focus, once mastered, can rebuild your entire life. When you live focused, you become the kind of person others notice. Calm, efficient, unstoppable. Your energy feels different because it's no longer divided. You're not chasing attention. You're directing it. You're not surviving your days. You're designing them. For 1 week, cut out distractions completely. Give yourself the gift of undivided attention. Create silence. Create order. Create space for clarity. In that quiet, you'll meet a version of yourself you haven't seen in a long time. The one who's capable, disciplined, and fully alive. That's not a fantasy. That's the result of focus. That's how you become unrecognizable. Number 6, speak less this week and let your actions do the talking. Most people talk too much about what they plan to do. They fill the air with promises, goals, and big dreams. But their actions rarely match their words. They convince themselves that talking about change is the same as living it. But talk doesn't build progress. Action does. If you want to become unrecognizable in 1 week, you have to go silent and start showing proof. Let your work, your effort, and your results speak for you. This week, speak less and let your actions do the talking. Silence has power. When you stop explaining your every move, you start focusing on execution. You begin to realize how much time you've wasted trying to convince others of what you're capable of. People don't need your words. They need to see results. You don't earn respect by announcing your plans. You earn it by doing what most people quit doing. The more you talk about what you'll do, the less urgency you feel to actually do it. Talking gives your mind a false sense of accomplishment. It tricks you into believing progress has been made when all you've done is spoken about it. This week, use silence as your weapon. Stop broadcasting your every intention. Don't tell people about your new habits or your next move. Just act. Let your daily behavior make the statement. Silence forces you to rely on action for validation, not attention. It teaches you discipline because you can't hide behind words anymore. When you stay quiet and focused, your mind gets sharper. You stop wasting energy on conversations that don't build you. You stop seeking approval and start working for progress. Talking less gives your mind room to think deeply. You start noticing what truly matters. You become more observant of how people act, how they move, and how they waste time. You start seeing through noise. When you stop talking, you start learning. You begin to pick up patterns, who actually means what they say and who doesn't. You start understanding people better because you're no longer trying to prove anything. Silence creates awareness, and awareness creates wisdom. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you take back control of your energy. Every word you speak carries a piece of that energy. If you constantly explain your plans, defend your goals, or justify your actions, you drain yourself before you even start. Silence keeps your energy protected. It builds mystery, focus, and confidence. You no longer need people to agree with you. You stop chasing reactions. You become grounded in your mission. When your actions are strong, words become unnecessary. Silence also exposes your weaknesses. When you can't rely on words to fill the gaps, you're forced to face where you've been lazy. You notice how often you talk to avoid doing. It's uncomfortable at first because it strips away all the excuses. But that discomfort is powerful. It pushes you to act. You begin to replace empty talk with meaningful effort. You stop predicting success and start creating it. Each small action becomes evidence of who you're becoming. There's a deep satisfaction that comes from doing something quietly. No one needs to see it. No one needs to clap. It's just you and your work. That kind of self-driven progress builds real confidence. The kind that doesn't fade when someone doubts you. Confidence built from words disappears fast. Confidence built from action becomes unshakable. You don't need to say, "I'm changed." You just live it, and the results prove it. People start noticing. They see a difference in how you carry yourself. They can feel your energy shifting. When you stop talking about your goals, you also stop giving others the power to influence them. People project their fears onto your idea. They'll tell you it's too hard or too unrealistic. And if you're always sharing your plans, you allow their doubts to creep into your mind. Silence protects your vision. It keeps your goals sacred. You don't owe anyone an explanation for what you're building. You owe yourself the discipline to finish it. In silence, your time becomes more valuable. You begin to see how much noise fills your day. Conversations that don't matter, opinions that add no value, arguments that change nothing. When you remove them, your focus becomes laser sharp. You realize that most people are too busy talking about success to actually reach it. You stop being one of them. You become the person who doesn't need to announce progress, because progress is visible in everything you do. Speaking less also builds emotional control. You start responding instead of reacting. You don't rush to defend yourself or prove a point. You save your energy for actions that actually move your life forward. You start understanding that silence can't be misquoted. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows that you have self-control. The world is loud. Silence stands out. People start wondering what you're up to. They feel your seriousness without you having to say a word. When you practice silence, you also start hearing your own thoughts more clearly. You see how often you've been talking to distract yourself from inner noise. Once you quiet down, the truth starts to surface. You realize what you actually want. You see which areas of your life need fixing. That clarity leads to change. The more honest you get with yourself, the more powerful your actions become. You stop performing for others and start working for yourself. By the middle of the week, you'll feel the shift. You'll wake up more grounded, more calm, more centered. You'll realize that most of your energy used to go into proving things to people who didn't care. Now that energy is fueling your growth. You'll find yourself finishing what you start. You'll notice your thoughts are cleaner and your decisions faster. You'll begin to appreciate quiet as a strength. It's not isolation. It's concentration. It's focus in its purest form. When you speak less, your words begin to carry more weight. People start listening when you do speak. Because they know you don't waste words. You build a reputation for precision, not knowing. You become someone whose silence demands respect. You no longer need to explain who you are. Your results do it for you. That's how powerful quiet discipline becomes. It speaks louder than any motivation speech ever could. By the end of the week, you'll look back and realize how peaceful it feels to not have to prove anything. You'll understand that action builds belief, and silence builds strength. You'll see that words without proof are just noise, but consistent effort creates evidence. The less you speak, the more you do. The more you do, the more real your confidence becomes. And when you live like that, no one has to be told that you've changed. They'll see it. In 1 week, silence can rebuild your focus, restore your confidence, and redefine your present. Every action you take without speaking about it becomes a statement of discipline. You're no longer driven by attention. You're driven by purpose. That's when life starts feeling powerful again. The version of you who used to talk about change becomes a memory. The version of you who acts quietly becomes unstoppable. So this week, speak less. No explanations, no announcements, just action. Let your results speak in a language louder than word. Let people wonder what changed. Because something inside you will have your focus, your control, your strength. Silence will make you sharper, tougher, and more respected. It will remind you that you don't need noise to be powerful. You just need action that can't be ignored. That's how you become unrecognizable. Number 7, challenge your body and mind to handle real discomfort daily. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from challenge, from testing yourself in the places that hurt, from doing what your body and mind resist. If you want to become unrecognizable, you have to train yourself to handle real discomfort every single day. Not once in a while, every day. The people who rise to the top aren't born stronger. They build strength through struggle. They decide that pain is not their enemy. It's their teacher. Discomfort is the weight room for your character. You grow by lifting it daily. We live in a world built for convenience. Everything is made to make life easier. Fast food, instant entertainment, constant distraction. But an easy life produces weak people. When you remove every challenge, you also remove the chance to grow. You become dependent on comfort. You start mistaking pleasure for happiness. You avoid anything that feels hard. That's the slowest way to destroy your potential. To change, you have to do the opposite. You must invite difficulty. You must put yourself in situations that test your patience, your focus, and your willpower. Start with your body. Physical discomfort builds mental strength faster than anything else. When you push your body, your mind learns resilience. Wake up early and move before your excuses start. Run when your legs feel heavy. Lift when your body feels tired. Hold the last rep when your muscles scream to stop. That's the moment where growth begins. Not at the start, but when it hurts and you keep going. You're training your mind to stop giving up when things get hard. You're teaching yourself to finish what you start. It doesn't matter how you challenge your body. What matters is that you do it intentionally. Take cold showers. Train without music. Fast for a few hours. Stretch past your limit. Each small act of discomfort builds grit. It reminds you that you can survive more than you think. Most people give up at the first sign of pain because they've never practiced facing it. But if you face discomfort daily, your threshold for pain expands. Things that once felt impossible start feeling normal. That's how strength grows, through exposure, not avoidance. Your mind needs the same challenge. Most people spend their days avoiding mental effort. They seek constant entertainment and easy distractions. They don't like to think deeply because it's uncomfortable. But to grow, you must challenge your mind to stay focused, to learn new things, to sit in silence, to finish tasks that stretch your patience. Read something that challenges your beliefs. Solve problems without looking for shortcuts. Reflect on your behavior instead of defending it. These acts may seem small, but they sharpen your mental edge. The sharper your mind becomes, the calmer you feel under pressure. Discomfort reveals your limits, but it also breaks them. When you do something that scares you, your brain realizes that fear doesn't kill you. It strengthens you. Each time you face fear, you weaken its control over you. You stop reacting to stress like a victim and start responding like a leader. That shift changes everything about the way you live. You start walking taller. You speak with certainty. You carry quiet confidence because you've earned it through real struggle, not empty motivation. Challenge doesn't have to mean chaos. It can be controlled. It can be structured in your daily life. For 1 week, choose one physical and one mental challenge each day. Make them slightly uncomfortable, but manageable. If you hate running, run anyway. If you fear public speaking, record yourself talking. If you procrastinate, finish the task you've been avoiding. Each challenge adds a layer of toughness. Every time you complete one, you're sending your brain a message. I can handle more. That message becomes your identity. When you train yourself to handle discomfort, you stop being fragile. You stop breaking at the first sign of difficulty. You stop complaining when life gets hard because you've built a foundation that can withstand it. Life doesn't get easier. You get stronger, and that strength becomes your advantage. When others quit, you keep going. When others hesitate, you move forward. That's what separates winners from dreamers. The ability to stay calm and focused when everything feels uncomfortable. Discomfort also brings humility. It reminds you that you're still growing, still learning, still capable of improvement. When everything feels easy, ego grows. When things get hard, truth appears. You see where you've been soft. You realize where your weaknesses hide. That awareness is painful, but it's priceless. It's the first step toward mastery. The best people in any field put themselves through discomfort on purpose. They don't wait for challenges. They create them. They know that pain sharpens the mind like nothing else. When you commit to daily discomfort, you start noticing a shift in your emotions. You stop getting angry over small problems. You stop fearing what others think. You stop avoiding effort. You develop emotional endurance. The ability to stay composed, no matter what happens. That kind of strength can't be bought. It can only be earned through struggle. You become steady, disciplined, and mentally grounded. People around you will sense it without you saying a word. The first few days will test you. Your mind will fight back. It will try to pull you into comfort. It will whisper that you deserve a break, that you've done enough. Ignore that voice. It's the same voice that has kept you average. It's the same voice that ruins progress the moment it begins. You can't silence it completely, but you can overpower it by acting anyway. Every time you ignore that voice and keep pushing, you're proving that you control your mind, not the other way around. You'll also discover something powerful. Discomfort brings peace. It sounds strange, but it's true. When you choose your challenges, life's challenges stop scaring you. You stop overreacting to unexpected problems because you've already practiced being uncomfortable. You stop running from responsibility because you've built endurance. You find peace in effort because you know effort works. Comfort only feels peaceful until it traps you. Real peace comes from knowing that you can handle whatever life throws at you. By the end of the week, you'll look back and see the difference. Your thoughts will feel stronger. Your body will feel more alive. Your confidence will feel grounded, not forced. You'll move through your day with purpose. You won't need motivation. You'll have discipline. You'll realize that discomfort isn't punishment. It's preparation. Every hard thing you do builds proof that you can handle the next one. That's the mindset of people who change their lives permanently. Don't wait for motivation. Build it through challenge. Wake up every day and ask yourself, what discomfort will I face today? Then face it. Train your body to move when it's tired. Train your mind to focus when it wants to wander. Train your emotions to stay calm when things go wrong. The more you train, the more control you gain. And when you have control, you have freedom. You stop being tossed around by mood, temptation, or fear. This is how transformation happens, not through comfort, but through challenge. Not by wishing for change, but by earning it daily. You can't grow in safety. You grow in friction. You grow in effort. You grow when you feel the resistance and move forward anyway. Real discomfort is not your enemy. It's the door to your potential. Each time you walk through it, you leave behind a weaker version of yourself. If you challenge your body and mind every day for 1 week, you will feel a shift that words can't describe. You'll see a person who doesn't quit when it's hard, who doesn't panic when things go wrong, who doesn't crumble under pressure. You'll see strength in your reflection, not arrogance, but real power built from struggle. That's how you become unrecognizable. Not through talk, not through hope, but through the daily choice to handle discomfort like it's your training ground for greatness. Number 8, track every hour of your day and fix what wastes time. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Every hour you spend is gone forever. And most people don't even know where their hours go. They move through each day distracted, busy, and exhausted, yet they have no real progress to show for it. If you want to change your life in 1 week, you must face the truth about how you use your time. Track every single hour of your day and fix what wastes. Because until you control your time controls you. Most people think they work hard, but when they really track their hours, they realize they don't. They confuse movement with progress. They fill their days with activity but not achievement. Checking notifications, replying to random messages, watching short videos, scrolling endlessly, these things steal hours quietly. One moment becomes 10, and suddenly the day is gone. You can't become unrecognizable if your time keeps slipping through your hands unnoticed. You must start paying attention. Tracking your hours isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest. For 1 full week, document where your time goes. Write down what you do every single hour, from the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed. Be brutally specific. How long do you spend getting ready? How much time do you waste overthinking? How many hours vanish into screens? Don't round numbers or estimate. Measure them exactly. The goal is to confront reality, not create excuses. Because once you see the truth, you can't pretend anymore. The first day will shock you. You'll realize how many hours you lose to things that don't matter. You'll see how often you check your phone without reason. How often you delay small tasks. How many moments you waste in indecision. It's uncomfortable, but that discomfort is necessary. It wakes you up. You'll finally understand that time management isn't about having more hours. It's about using the ones you have with purpose. Everyone gets 24 hours, but not everyone uses them equally. That's what separates achievers from drifters. Once you've tracked your time, the next step is fixing the leaks. Look at your notes and ask yourself one question. Did this move me forward? If the answer is no, cut it or limit it. Time wasted once is a mistake. Time wasted twice is a choice. Identify the habits that eat your hours. Mindless scrolling, gossip, unplanned breaks, unnecessary errands. Replace them with habits that build you. Schedule your day in blocks of focus. Dedicate certain hours to deep work, learning, health, and rest. When your time has structure, your life gains direction. Tracking time also teaches you discipline. You become aware of how valuable each minute is. You stop saying, "I don't have time," because you realize you've always had time. You just weren't managing. The moment you start measuring, your brain starts prioritizing. You become more intentional. You start asking, is this worth an hour of my life? That simple question changes your decisions fast. You stop saying yes to distractions and start saying yes to progress. There's a psychological shift that happens when you begin valuing your time. You stop tolerating people and things that waste it. You stop entertaining negativity and idle talk. You start surrounding yourself with purpose-driven energy. You start noticing how people treat their time. Those who value it grow with you. Those who don't begin to fade from your circle. You start realizing that managing time is not just about productivity. It's about self-respect. It's about deciding that your life is too valuable to be lived unconsciously. When you track every hour, patterns appear. You see your strengths and weaknesses clearly. Maybe you're productive in the morning, but lose momentum in the afternoon. Maybe you overcommit and leave no time for rest. Maybe you waste your weekends trying to escape the week. Once you see these patterns, you can fix them. You can design your day around your energy. You can stop working against yourself. You can make your schedule serve your goals instead of sabotaging them. The more aware you become of time, the calmer your life feels. It's not about rushing. It's about rhythm. You start moving with intention instead of reacting to everything. You stop feeling overwhelmed because you know exactly where your hours go. You stop living in chaos because you've built structure. You'll start noticing that you accomplish more in a few focused hours than you used to in a full day. That's the power of awareness. It multiplies your efficiency without extra effort. Time tracking also exposes your distractions. You'll see how often you interrupt yourself. You'll catch yourself switching tasks for no reason, starting new things before finishing the old. Every interruption has a cost. It breaks your concentration and steals momentum. Once you notice this, you'll begin protecting your focus fiercely. You'll set boundaries around your time. You'll turn off notifications, silence your phone, and guard your working hours like something sacred, because they are. Those hours build your future. Another truth you'll discover is that time management is really energy management. Some hours are worth more than others. The first few hours of your day often hold the most focus and creativity, yet most people waste them on meaningless tasks. When you track your time, you start scheduling your hardest work during your peak energy. You stop using your best hours on low-value activity. You align your effort with your priorities, and the difference becomes visible almost immediately. As the days go by, you'll feel a sense of control that you might not have felt in years. You'll start respecting time like it's currency, because it is. Every hour you spend is an investment in who you're becoming. Once you begin seeing time this way, you stop trading it for things that give you nothing back. You stop procrastinating because you understand the real cost. You start treating every hour like it matters, because it does. By the fourth or fifth day, your mindset will shift completely. You'll stop living reactively. You'll begin planning ahead with precision. You'll go to bed satisfied, knowing exactly what you accomplished and what comes next. You'll stop carrying guilt about wasted days, because there won't be any. Every day will feel meaningful, because every hour will have a purpose. That feeling of progress, real measurable progress, will change how you see yourself. At the end of the week, look at your notes and reflect. How many hours did you spend on things that truly matter? How many were lost to noise? Once you see that ratio, you'll never look at time the same way again. You'll realize that success isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. It's about being intentional, not busy. It's about making sure your time reflects your priorities, not your distractions. When you track and fix your time, your life starts to move faster in the right direction. You stop wasting energy on regret. You stop saying someday because you're already building the life you want now. You start feeling in control of your destiny, because you've mastered the one thing that controls everything: your time. That's when progress becomes visible. That's when people start noticing a change in you. You move differently, think differently, act differently. You become sharper, more confident, more focused. Your time is your proof of seriousness. People who respect time succeed because they understand that every moment counts. You can't fake that. You can't talk your way into it. You have to live it. For 1 week, track every hour. Don't let a single one go unaccounted for. When you see where your life is going, you can steer it where you want it to go. That's how change becomes real. Not in theory, but in daily practice. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference lies in what you do with them. Track them, fix them, and use them wisely. When you start managing time with precision, you'll feel the power of focus, clarity, and control taking over. You'll stop chasing motivation, because discipline will already be guiding you. That's how transformation begins. Not in a burst of inspiration, but in the quiet consistency of managing your hours. That's how you become unrecognizable. Number 9. Spend this week proving you can trust your own word. The biggest promise you'll ever make is the one you make to yourself. Most people break that promise every single day without realizing what it does to them. They say they'll wake up early, but they hit snooze. They say they'll start the diet, but they delay it. They say they'll get serious, but they keep waiting for the right time. And every time they do this, they lose trust in themselves. That loss of trust doesn't happen all at once. It fades slowly, quietly, until one day you stop believing your own words. This week, you change that. This week is about proving to yourself that when you say something, it means something. Trusting your own word is the foundation of confidence. You can't lead yourself, much less anyone else, if you can't rely on what you say. Confidence isn't built by compliments or motivation. It's built by following through. Every time you do what you said you'd do, your brain learns that your word has weight. That belief turns into power. It turns into the quiet certainty that you can handle whatever comes next. But when you keep breaking your word, you build the opposite. You create doubt, hesitation, and fear. You start questioning your own potential. Because deep down, you know you've lied to yourself too many times. This week, every word that leaves your mouth must count. Don't make promises you're not ready to keep. Don't say you'll do something unless you mean it. Choose your words like they're contracts. Because they are. They're contracts between your present self and your future self. When you honor them, your future becomes predictable. You know you'll follow through. When you break them, your future becomes uncertain. Because you've taught yourself not to believe in your own commitment. Start small. Pick one thing each day that you'll commit to fully. It could be finishing a task, completing a workout, or staying focused for a set time. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Each day you follow through, you're repairing the relationship between your words and your actions. That relationship is sacred. It determines how you feel about yourself when no one's watching. Most people never fix it. They live their lives apologizing to themselves silently, making promises they never intend to keep, and then wondering why they feel stuck. You can end that cycle this way. When you keep your word, even in small ways, something powerful happens inside you. You start to feel grounded. You stop second guessing. You stop needing external validation. You stop seeking permission to move forward. The reason is simple. Trust replaces doubt. You no longer need motivation to act, because your actions are built on integrity. You don't have to hype yourself up to do the work. You just do it because that's who you are now. That's what it means to build internal strength. Breaking your word may seem harmless in the moment, but it's destructive over time. Every time you skip what you promised yourself, you send your brain a message. I can't be trusted. That message compounds. It becomes your default belief. You start saying things like, I'll try, because you don't want to commit. You start doubting your own goals because you secretly expect to fail again. But when you keep your word, even once, you reverse that. You start sending a new message. I follow through. And when that becomes your truth, your entire mindset shifts. Keeping your word doesn't mean doing things perfectly. It means doing them with sincerity. It means showing up even when it's uncomfortable. It means doing what you said even when no one's holding you accountable. This week, your goal is not to impress anyone. It's to rebuild self-trust. That trust is built in quiet moments, when no one sees your effort. It's built in the decisions you make, when you could easily quit but don't. Those moments define your character more than anything else. There's a kind of strength that comes from being reliable to yourself. You stop looking for shortcuts. You stop waiting for someone to push you. You start doing the right thing because it feels natural. You begin to live with a sense of inner peace, because there's no more conflict between your words and your actions. Most people live in that conflict. They say one thing and do another, and it eats at them. You can see it in their eyes, the frustration of not living up to their own standard. You can free yourself from that this week by doing exactly what you promise. You'll notice that when you follow through, your stress begins to drop, not because life gets easier, but because you remove the tension between your intentions and your reality. That tension is what drains most people. It's the weight of unfinished promises. When you start keeping your word, you feel lighter. You feel calm even under pressure, because you're no longer carrying the guilt of inconsistency. You can finally look at yourself in the mirror without feeling like you're falling behind your own potential. Some people think they need motivation to take action, but motivation comes after action, not before. The real spark comes from results, from seeing that you're doing what you said. That's the only motivation that lasts, the kind you earn through proof. Every small commitment you keep is proof that you're changing. You start building momentum. One day becomes two becomes 5, and suddenly you're consistent. And consistency builds identity. You start identifying as someone who finishes, someone who delivers, someone who means what they say. To make this work, remove all empty promises from your vocabulary. Stop saying I'll try. Stop saying I'll start tomorrow. Those words are weak. Replace them with I will and back it up. Your mind listens to what you say. The more firm and direct you are, the more your actions align. Speak with certainty. Act with precision. This is how you teach yourself to be trustworthy again. Every time you follow through, your subconscious rewrites the story of who you are. By midweek, you'll start noticing changes in your energy. You'll feel more decisive. You won't overthink as much because your brain now has proof that you take action. You'll find yourself finishing things faster, staying on track longer, and feeling more in control. You'll notice that your emotions stabilize because doubt starts disappearing. You'll even start earning more respect from others, because people can sense reliability. But the most important respect you'll gain is your own. Keeping your word also builds emotional strength. When you hold yourself accountable, you stop needing excuses. You stop blaming others for delays or failures. You take full responsibility, and that responsibility makes you powerful. You no longer feel like life is happening to you. You feel like you're in charge of it. Each time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce that feeling of control. You start to realize that everything you want is built on small acts of discipline like this. By the end of the week, you'll feel different. Your posture changes. Your tone changes. You'll move with quiet confidence. You won't have to tell anyone what you're working on. They'll see it in your action. You'll understand that trust is not something you demand. It's something you earn, first from yourself, then from the world. You'll realize that you can't lead anyone until you can lead yourself. And the way you lead yourself is by doing what you said every single time. This week is your test. Every promise you keep strengthens your foundation. Every time you follow through, you take back a piece of power that self-doubt stole from you. You'll look at yourself differently because you'll know that your word means something now. That realization will change how you approach everything. Your goals, your relationships, your work. You'll stop talking about becoming reliable, and you'll start living it. The truth is simple. If you can trust your own word, there's nothing you can't achieve. Most people are trapped not by circumstance, but by broken promises they made to themselves. They want to grow but don't believe they'll follow through. You can change that belief in 1 week by proving yourself wrong. Keep your word every single day. No exceptions, no excuses, no negotiation. That's how you rebuild self-respect. That's how you earn back your confidence. That's how you become unrecognizable. Number 10. Build a version of yourself that nobody recognizes anymore. There comes a time when you look at your life and realize you've been repeating the same patterns for too long. You've been carrying the same habits, fighting the same fears, and telling yourself the same stories that keep you small. You wake up one day and see that the person in the mirror is built from years of compromise, excuses, and hesitation. That version of you might have gotten you this far, but it won't take you any further. To change your life completely, you have to build a version of yourself that nobody recognizes anymore. Not because you pretend to be someone else, but because you finally become the person you were meant to be before the world made you play safe. Building a new version of yourself starts with honesty. You can't change what you keep lying about. You have to face where you've been lazy, where you've played victim, where you've accepted less than you deserve. That kind of self-awareness isn't comfortable. It stings. It forces you to see how much potential you've ignored. But that pain is the beginning of transformation. When you finally admit that you've been holding yourself back, you open the door to becoming someone new. The person you want to be doesn't exist yet. You have to create them. That means cutting ties with old patterns, people, and environments that keep pulling you back. You can't expect to become unrecognizable if you keep living in the same circle that normalizes mediocrity. The people who knew the old you will notice the shift first. They'll say you've changed, and they'll be right. Growth always offends the people who stay the same. You have to be willing to lose their approval to find your power. Start with your habits, because they are the building blocks of your identity. Every action you repeat either strengthens your old self or shapes your new one. If you want to rebuild your life, rebuild your routine. Wake up at a time that demands discipline. Move your body until it feels alive. Work in silence until results speak louder than words. Feed your mind with things that make you think, not just feel good. Cut out the junk that keeps you dull. Junk food, junk media, junk conversations. The version of you that nobody recognizes lives with clarity and purpose. That's who you're building now. Transformation isn't about changing everything overnight. It's about being intentional with every choice. Every time you do something your old self would have avoided, you're rewriting who you are. When you face fear instead of running, when you stay disciplined instead of distracted, when you choose peace instead of drama, you're building a stronger identity. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's quiet, consistent evolution. You don't announce it, you live it. You'll start noticing a difference in how you think. The things that used to trigger you will stop mattering. The people who drain your energy will fade from your life naturally. The old habits that felt impossible to break will lose their grip. You'll feel lighter because you'll no longer carry the weight of who you used to be. That's when you know you're changing for real. When you stop trying to impress others and start wanting to impress yourself. The truth is, nobody will believe in the new you at first. They'll remember the old you, the one who talked big but quit early, who made promises but never followed through. That's okay. Their doubt is part of your transformation. You're not doing this for applause. You're doing it for peace. The best revenge against your old life is consistency. Stay quiet, work hard, and keep improving until people have no choice but to respect the results. Let time do the talking. Becoming unrecognizable doesn't mean losing your heart. It means sharpening it. You become tougher, not colder. You become wiser, not bitter. You stop reacting to every small thing because your energy is focused on building something bigger. You begin to understand that discipline is the highest form of self-love. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you push through resistance, you're showing yourself that you're worthy of respect. That kind of self-respect builds a foundation no one can take from you. There will be days when it feels like you're not making progress. You'll question whether the change is worth it. You'll feel alone because few people understand what it takes to rebuild yourself. But remember this, change is lonely before it's celebrated. People won't see your vision until it's visible. You have to be your own supporter in the dark before the light finds you. Every great transformation looks crazy at first, but one day, people will look back and say, "You've changed," and it will be the best compliment you'll ever hear. The hardest part about building a new version of yourself is letting go of the one that got you here. You'll miss parts of that person. You'll miss their comfort, their excuses, their easy way out. But you can't carry both. You can't be the person who wants change and the person who avoids it. At some point, you have to decide which one you're going to be. The moment you choose growth, your old self starts fading away. Every new habit, every disciplined choice, every act of courage becomes a brick in the foundation of your new identity. Start building your days with intention. Set goals that stretch you but don't overwhelm you. Track your progress. Reward effort, not perfection. The goal isn't to change for a week. It's to start a lifelong transformation. Each day that you act differently from your past self, you gain more distance from who you were. Soon your reflection starts to match the vision you've been holding in your mind. You won't just look different. You'll feel different. You'll feel stronger, more focused, more alive. By the middle of this process, you'll start realizing how powerful you are when you commit fully. You'll see how much control you actually have. You'll understand that transformation isn't about luck. It's about discipline, awareness, and consistent effort. You'll stop seeking motivation because you'll already be living in alignment with what matters. The more aligned you become, the faster everything changes. You'll attract new energy, new people, new opportunities. Life starts responding differently when you start behaving differently. Building a version of yourself that nobody recognizes isn't about impressing the world. It's about outgrowing the person who accepted less than they deserved. It's about living in a way that your old habits, fears, and distractions can no longer survive. It's about carrying yourself with strength, clarity, and purpose, so strong that no one can ignore the difference. You're not waiting for permission to evolve. You're doing it because you're done wasting potential. By the end of this journey, you'll see that becoming unrecognizable isn't about creating a new face. It's about developing a new standard. You'll notice that you speak differently, think deeper, and move with calm confidence. You'll carry quiet pride because you earned your change the hard way. You'll no longer feel like you're pretending to be someone better. You'll know that you are. You won't need to explain your growth. People will feel it when they're around you. That's what real transformation looks like. It's not loud. It's not desperate. It's powerful and silent. It's the kind of change that makes people stop and wonder how you did it. You didn't just change your habits. You changed your identity. You built a version of yourself that no one recognizes because you finally stopped recognizing your own limits. This is your chance to rebuild. This is your week to leave behind the version of yourself that lived in doubt, distraction, and delay. Build the new one. Strong, clear, disciplined, focused. Don't talk about it. Live it. Every choice you make, every hour you invest, every promise you keep will shape this new identity. Keep going until the person you were is unrecognizable and the person you've become is unstoppable. That's how you change your life completely. That's how you become unrecognizable. You made it to the end, and that already says something powerful about you. Most people click away when things get uncomfortable, but you stayed. That means something inside you is ready for change. Not tomorrow, not next month, now. This week isn't about being perfect. It's about proving you can do what most people won't. The world might not notice right away, but give it time. They'll start to see it in how you walk, how you speak, how you show up. You'll carry a different energy and they'll know something's changed. So don't stop here. Rewatch this when you lose focus. Let it remind you of who you said you'd become. You owe it to yourself to follow through. Because when you finally become the person no one recognizes, that's when you've truly started living, and that version of you is just getting started.